What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So this video is dedicated to Reese, who actually threw out the challenge for the Mustang. So there are so many out here in my collection, guys, and it's very hard to choose which ones are my heavy hitters, favorites, and all of that, because I just love them all in different ways. But I thought I would do one based off of some honorable mentions, probably some hard to find ones. But a huge shout out to Reese over at Amazing Cars 13. If you haven't checked out his video, he went through NASCARs, different versions of mini GTs, just some really cool ones I haven't seen before. So a majority of the ones I picked are surprisingly Mach 1s and Boss 302s, with some other ones. But I thought these were really good ones to mention in this episode. So the first one's going to be a Boss 302 from Matchbox. Now this is a raw finish of it. I absolutely love the way this looks. Just no paint. Of course, you can see the louvers and a plastic wing. I think they did a tooling change to where the louvers were separate and casted within the interior piece, and then the wing was casted to the body itself. But I've always been a huge fan of how Matchbox does the real riders, especially with the stance. They use some really nice meaty tires on this one. You got the Goodyear Eagles. And to partner with this one, it came with the yellow version of the 302, which is right here. This is probably one of the coolest Matchbox Boss 302s I have in the collection. You can see the detail of this one. Got the nice black deck lid. Tail lights are done. License plate. Same Goodyear Eagles. The white interior, but the Boss 302 stripes on this one really complement the legend and iconicness of how the Boss 302 really is. So when you see these two compared side by side, I just love how they came together like this. The raw finish, and of course the yellow, which is probably more of a screaming yellow or maybe a torch yellow. It just depends on which era. But beautiful, beautiful Boss 302s right here from Matchbox. So the next ones are going to be the Mach 1s. Now these are the 70s, and this was a mystery mail-in car. This is such a beautiful red metallic. I mean, the flake in this one is super heavy. You got the really nice pinstripe work, and then on the roof it does have the MC for mystery car. And I can't remember which year it was. I think it was maybe 2000 when this was a mail-in. You can see how this one still had the louvers and wing fixed and standalone from the body itself, but beautiful gold 5 spokes to really tie in those pinstripes. It's just the color of these, man. I really, really am a huge fan of the Mach 1s that Hot Wheels does. I do have a lot of variations, different colors, some hard to find ones, but I thought the mystery mail-in car would probably be a really good one to showcase. Especially just the color, man. It just really pops at you. The next one is also going to be a 70 Mach 1. This is the Nice and Naughty. It is from the holiday special. It does have real riders on it. This was actually sent in from a good buddy, Austin, who is a Porsche collector. But really nice maroon. You got the Nice and Naughty deco with the flames outlined in silver. This is still before the retooling of the wing. I'm going to keep mentioning that until you guys see the ones that actually have the fixed wing on it. But really cool metal on metal casting. This one doesn't have any eagles or any design on the side walls of those rubber wheels, but another beauty for sure. So the next one is another 70 Mach 1 in pearl white this time, really close to the Oxford white. But it's out of the White's Guide series. I think it came out in 1999. Got the nice Goodyear real riders all the way around with the colored Hot Wheels flame on both fenders, which I think is really cool. They actually did the tail lights on this one, the gas cap on the deck lid, and then of course the bumper trim. So this one is also one of my favorites for the Mach 1 lineup. I don't know, something about how the fastback is. That's based off of how I did Ruby at first when I had my 2004 Mach 1 in this similar setup, Oxford white with the black hood stripe. I've just always been a fan of louvers on the back of Mustangs. Really gives a nice fastback look, and these really capture that. Really gives you the look of just pure muscle, even though it is in the pony category. They are just beefy cars. So beautiful Mach 1 right here. All right, so the next one is another 70 Mach 1 in this pearlescent yellow. You do have the black and dark blue stripes going down the hood as well as the side. More of a tribal look, but this is another mystery model. You got the chrome 5 spokes. It's just, man, these are just too cool. And it was really hard to figure out which ones I wanted to showcase in this episode. And I feel like the Mach ones don't get that much love. A lot of people have the GT500s and, you know, the 68 fastbacks, which I do love the 65 2+2s, and you guys already know that. But I thought I would let you guys see other models that I just highly admire. And this mystery model is just another one of those. So beautiful pearlescent yellow. Next one is another mystery model. This one's the 69 Mustang in this bright baby blue, and it's just screaming at you. More of like a Miami color. You got the orange tinted glass. You got the OH5s. Pretty large setup in the back. It's very tuned looking. But I'm still a big fan of this casting. Really, really wide and beefy. But the color itself, absolutely love the color setup. The baby blue and orange really goes well together. And then of course you got the number 5, because I think it was number 5 out of the mystery model itself. And I can't remember what year it was released, but it was 5. But when I find out, I'll put it on the screen. All right, next one. This is actually out of Maisto. This is the 93 Cobra. The Fox body, man, this thing is just gorgeous. The way they did the headlights is just phenomenal. You can see some really good detail. The fog lights are red. You got the inner lights blue for the, you know, interceptor look. And I do like how they put the dish style wheels on there with the moon caps in black. And of course you got the signature 93 taillights right there. But man, the wing, the taillights, and just the overall 93 Cobra is probably one of my favorite Fox bodies. But I do highly prefer the notchbacks, but the only one that has produced notchbacks aside from Maisto is Matchbox, but theirs is the 92. Hopefully we can see a 93 Cobra come out at some point, because I think it's one of those Mustangs that really need to be re-released, just like this one. It is just freaking awesome. All right, next one is a Playskool Toys. This is a pullback. Now this is like an 84 SVO, and it is all plastic. I did clean it up. It was pretty dirty, but this thing is just really cool of a mention. You don't see too many of these around. I had never seen one until I got this one in a mail call, but it's just really, really cool. I mean, it looks like there's supposed to be like a key slot that goes in the back. It's just really, really cool. I have a lot of different varieties of Fox bodies in the collection, but this is just cool. I love it. You don't see it at all. So honorable mention for sure. Next one is Johnny Lightning, back to the 70 Boss 302. Now this is a super clean, like emerald green with the 302 stripes on it. Now it did come with this cool chip on there. That way you guys can see it's number 17208, Series 8, limited edition Johnny Lightning 70 Boss 302. But look at the taillights. It is way off in proportion, way too narrow, but at least they got them done. Some castings are hit or miss. Matchbox makes some really good S550s in comparison to the Hot Wheels version of the S550. Now, if you don't know what S550 is, that is the chassis code for the 2015 and up Mustangs until 2024 comes out. Then those are the S650s. But if you want to see a really good comparison, check out Super JDM Diecast. He did Hot Wheels versus Matchbox, and he really highlighted the 2018 Mustang versus the Shelby from Hot Wheels. And I think he did a really good job. But this is just another beautiful 70 Mustang in the collection that I just had to showcase. So moving on to another category of Mustang, you got the SN95, which is out of the Father and Son set, which was an Avon exclusive. Now this one is the burnt orange metallic. It only came out in the Father and Son set in this color, and you have the nice highlights of that orange. And a way to tell the difference between the next one I'm going to showcase is the wing. You can see it has the Hot Wheels flame in yellow. We got the Mustang GT, which is standard on all of them. But the wing itself is the identifier on which one it is. So you can see the highlights of the orange. Now at least they give you the headlight tampos for this one. It is metal on metal. But when you compare the next one, which is out of the same series, this one is from China, this one is from Malaysia. You can see a huge color difference versus the right one, where it's just a maroon metallic. Now it doesn't have the highlights in orange like the other one, but it does have the chrome 5 dots. Same tampos, but if you look up closely on the wing, the one on the right has the yellow one, and the one on the left has the red Hot Wheels flame on the deck lid. And I'll just take them off just to showcase you guys. Now they are all like that. You can see this one is yellow and this one is red. And the ones I even have packaged are set up the same way. But look at the color difference. Really nice red metallic, burnt orange metallic. And you can really, really see that when you have them side by side. All right, so next one up is the exclusive GT500, which came out of, I believe it was a 9 or a 10 pack. But this is the maroon or reddish maroon metallic with the deco of the camouflage, gold stripes. Very nice setup. I believe it came out in 3 different color variations. I only have 2, missing the white one. I believe it was maybe silver and white. But this is just another beautiful Shelby to represent the Mustangs in the collection. I'm not too sure how many people actually collected these at the time, because I know a lot of people aren't a fan of this type of deco, especially with a pinkish tint to it. But another beautiful one right here. Next one is the Recolor exclusive in black. Now you have the satin black camouflage with the red stripes and red interior, which I think this was probably my favorite one. Even though I think it would have looked good in any setup, I think the deco itself looks really, really good on the Shelby. But just a side-by-side comparison, that way you guys can see which one do you guys think is the best one. The red and gold looks good, but black and red always looks the best. But 2 exclusives right here from the multi-packs. All right, next one is an Indianapolis 500 pace car. It's the 1964.5 with the opening hood. Such a beauty for Johnny Lightning. You do have the nice white walls and the white interior, which is classic to the look of the older Mustangs. Now they actually showcased this one in a magazine as well as on Facebook a few times, and it's actually based off a real Indianapolis 500 Mustang, but just hands down beautiful. This one is loose. I do have it carded, so at least I have both to showcase to you guys. And of course, having them loose makes it so much easier, especially on the turntable. But had to mention the 1964.5. Next up is another favorite of mine. It's the custom 2012 Mustang GT with the wide body. Now it does have the chrome Y5s all the way around. And I've been a huge fan of this one. They came out in multiple colors. But this one is really cool based off of being a mystery model. But love the color, of course. I'm super biased to it, mainly because Ruby is the same color. Just a little bit lighter on this one compared to Ruby, because hers is a red fire pearl. But I love the Roush style stripes, the hockey stripes they threw on the side of this one. And it's just really nice. I love the crossbar roll cage that you can see through the back window. And of course, it's just one that you don't really see too often. And if you have this one, now you know it is a mystery model. So beautiful mention, of course. Next one. Now this is actually kind of hard to find. And I actually picked this one up for 50 cents. It is an Energizer battery exclusive 2005 Mustang. So when you actually purchased a 8-pack or 10-pack of Energizer batteries, I think it was a 6-pack maybe. It came with this car on package. You can see the Energizer deco on the back. And it is just super cool. Beautiful burnt orange. You got the light bluish gray base, but you can also see the chrome Hot Wheels flame on the base of it. Now, usually that tells you which interior it is. It actually is silver, not chrome. But that was an indicator on what color interior it came with, because it was tied together. So if you looked on the bottom and it was black with the chrome flame, it had chrome interior. And it was just a really easy way to tell which one it had. So very hard to find, and I was super stoked. I found this one in a loose bin at the Traders Market when I first moved here. So for the fact of finding it in there and it has 0 scratches or chips and it still has a beautiful paint look to it, it was a super cool score for me. So definitely had to mention this one. All right, next up. Now this is a larger scale. I think it's a 132. Maybe not. But this is the 98 Cobra race car with the Shell Zone deco on there. Now it is kind of off scale. The wheels don't fit it as good, but it's still a really nice casting. The 98 Cobra came out in Hot Wheels as well as this one, and I believe Johnny Lightning did it as well. But a huge fan of the race car look for this one. I think it really fits the body of it. It's easy to overlook. I seen it one time at a trader's market and they wanted way too much for it. And then luckily I picked this one up still in the package for $3, and it's in really good shape. So if you see this one, it is the Archer Brothers 98 Cobra race car, and it is really, really cool. So just to give you an inside look, it is metal on metal, and it does have a unscrewable base. But other than that, I think it's really cool. All right, next one, we have an international short card of the 2013 Mustang GT, but this one has the chrome 5-spokes. Now you can see the card art has black wheels with the red trim. There are 2 wheel variations to this one. You got long card and your short card version right here, which I do have in the collection. And here is the long card version with the black wheels and the red chrome trim to match the image of the card art. So in case you do have these, just know you have 2 wheel variations, and I believe the chrome 5-spokes are the harder ones to find. But I do really love the setup of this, the show me hood, where you can see the huge velocity stacks and the motor and the roll cage on it. But definitely some honorable mentions in case you guys didn't know. There are 2 wheel variations to this one. So chrome 5-spokes and black MC5s with the red trim. Next up is another super rare interior version of the 99. This is the purple metallic with the 5-spokes, but red interior. Now they came in multiple wheel variations. I believe it was 3 wheel variations, but with the tan interior. And this one has the red. The red is the hard one to find. It's actually collector number 909. Once it comes right back around, you can really see it. But they all have the Mustang deco or tampo right there on the rear bumper, but the red interior one is definitely the harder one to find. And I'm just now kind of noticing that the Hot Wheels flame is not sitting correctly on the rear fender. I need to see if my other one has that or not. Yeah, it looks like they're supposed to sit a little bit higher. It's no big deal, but the fact of me having the red interior version of it is definitely cool. So if you have this one, hold on to it. All right, guys, next and last one up. I have to throw this one on there just because it is super cool. But it's out of Hong Kong. It's a 1/38 scale Fox body right here in Legend Lime. Check this out. It is the 4i version of the Fox body. You have the red headlight lenses, and you do have a leopard on there. And I can't remember what this car pertained to, but it does have the opening doors. It is a pullback, and it has a really nice tan interior. It's really, really cool. It looks more of like a 78, 79 Fox body. Could be. You guys let me know down in the comments, but I'm almost certain we had one similar to it growing up, but it was like a faded yellow with the same color interior. And I believe it was a 79 Mustang, but really, really cool mention, of course. Legend Lime. Got to represent that one. That is what we have, guys. I know I wanted to showcase a little bit more just for the time being of me talking. I'll put the Joey Logano Red Edition on here. This was my pocket ride for so long. You can see the paint was even coming off on this one. And there's a hole in the back because I tried to drill it and make it into my keychain. But all the stripes were starting to wear off. I do have them carded now. So a huge thanks to those out there who helped trade for it and actually get me some more in the collection. That way I can have them carded still. So that is all we got, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of the Mustang Challenge that was thrown out by Reese over at Amazing Cars 13. So Reese, thank you so much for the idea. I definitely dig this. I might do some other ones showcasing different models that I have that are loose. I wish I could have showcased those cars that I had on card loose, but of course, being that those are hard to find wheel variations and interior variations, I will keep those carded. But everything else that I showcased, I either had opened already or I just opened them up and really released them. Other than that, guys, I have nothing else. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the Mustang Challenge. And let me know if you want to see any other ones. Comment down below what other casting you want me to showcase, and I will showcase maybe my top 10 favorites. So until next time, I got nothing else for you guys. This is the Mustang Hunter. Peace.